Hi again, and as I predicted, things are going down, and I want to be looking at this here. In the video on the 24th of September, I said I believe that it was probably going to be something financial, but it was going to be something. It wasn't going to be a huge thing, and that it was likely that we were going to follow up with situation after situation after situation after situation of things coming to light. Now I've already pre-shuffled because I know the camera goes out of focus if I don't put something down here first. Now I pre-shuffled. This reading is about Kanye West and now her name's gone, Camila Vasquez, who we all love, whoever's followed the Johnny Depp trial. We all love her, don't we? I don't know. I thought she was brilliant. I would like to look into what's going on here, but it was weird the way this came around. So I just want to say, there's so much going on. It's not just about that. I've probably already put that in the title. I'm going to be looking at some of these Kanye West interviews as well, including I nearly said Piers Tucker. It was something Tucker. Carlton Tucker, was it? I've got it all written down because I forget names and things. Tucker Carlson, that's it, Tucker Carlson. And then he did one with Piers Morgan, didn't he? And then there's this thing with Candice Owens as well. And something also came up about a Trump interview about his the FBI's raid on Mar-a-Lago. There's so much to cover. I did a video about the October and November. It was the 29th of October to the 11th of and the 11/11 Portland, some others as well. But things have been hitting the fan spiritually, certainly for me. I don't know if they have been with you. I've been pushed a lot to raise my energies, do a lot of work. The craziest thing happened yesterday. Now, I don't live in the countryside. I live close to the countryside. I live on the edge of a town, on just off quite a busy road. And yesterday I went into my kitchen. This is one of the weird things that happened to me. I went into my kitchen, looked out the window, and there was a hawk. A literal hawk, at least I think it was a hawk, in my garden, devouring something. I don't even know what it was devouring, but I've put the picture on my social media. If you want to join me on my social media, all the links will be in the description below. I'm going to leave these for a minute. Let's have a look at these. There's been an announcement that Kanye West, it had hired Camilla Vasquez, but then reports came out straight afterwards that they'd said that she wasn't working with him and the company wasn't working with him. Now, I might be wrong on that. I didn't do a lot of research on that. And I was thinking, oh, that'd be a really good thing, because I did watch the interview with Tucker Carlson, and it was, in my opinion, it was a big expose. And all the other stuff around it as well, with the Candice Owens, is it, and the White Lives Matter thing. So this is the white hats trying to bring this up. And I do see, from what I see, it was going to plan, which was why this has confused me. I do understand it. Okay. I thought it looked to me like it was going really well. And that's certainly what I'm seeing here as well. It seems to be going well. They seem to be focusing less on what's actually going on with this, him actually hiring her or not hiring her, as the case may be. So I'm going to assume it's exactly what it looks like. She was tied into the Johnny Depp case. He was, sorry, this is a past line. This is the present line. This is the best course of action line. They decided for whatever reason not to go for it. I don't think that matters, because what's happened is, because she's such a big name now because of the Johnny Depp trial, it's brought attention to Kanye West. I'm not saying there was no attention on Kanye West, and I know very little about Kanye West. He was married to Kim Kardashian. He's a rapper. That's all I know, although I did watch the interview. But I'm not really a fan of Kanye West, so don't think I'm sticking up for him. This is about a black hat, white hat thing. Although I do respect him now, because I did see that thing where he was saying about, in the interview with Tucker Carlton, how he was pressured and threatened not to support Donald Trump. What they're saying here is it's good for, let go of your judgment about how much the black hats are playing this up. They are playing this up. They're playing this up perfectly. They're playing this up exactly how they've always played everything up, always. They play to their advantages, including this Jewish thing that he said to Piers Morgan. But I'll get on to that in a minute. I've just had trick up their sleeve. The white hats have got a trick up their sleeve, but once again they've got lots of options, and it's always best, isn't it? It's always best to have lots of options. But what I'm seeing here with this Camila Vasquez is it's exactly what we're seeing. He approached her at the white hat's behest, possibly, or suggestion, or the company she works for, rather, not her personally, obviously, to represent him. And the whole thing blew up exactly as they expected. The black hats are playing it exactly how they would normally, and we'll get on to that. But it was all expected, it was all anticipated, and there's plenty of tricks up the sleeve, the white hat sleeve for victory. Seek the truth, find balance, and healing begins. Wow, this is it, this is it, this is where we're at, isn't it? This is absolutely where we're at. I've seen everything stepping up, that's why I've got so much to talk about today. Like I say, it was just one thing led to another, and it just kind of all kind of culminates in this huge thing. This is really stepping up now. I said before several times, this is how they're doing it, step by step, little by little. Just a little shove here, another shove here, another shove here, another shove here. Ripeness, suppression, and awareness. Yeah, we're ready to expose the suppression. It's something, actually, something Ye West said in his interview with Piers Morgan. Well, in both of the interviews, actually, was really significant, and the interview with Donald Trump as well. This is going to expose the suppression of our awareness, not just of what's going on, but obviously our spiritual awareness as well. It's ready. We're ready to go. This is it. We're in it now. We're in full swing. Indolence, Prince of Swords, and science. Yeah, we've all been annoyed. None of us have been filling our cups, have we? Because it's been like, we've just been languishing in what we can do, waiting for what is the world going to look like, what's going to happen, what is the world going to look like. And we've come full into it with this creativity here, full into it with this creativity and science, logical scientific approach. Swords are about the mind, the white hats, the scientific approach. Right, so that was pretty good. So let's have a look. So it all came out with this Vasquez thing, and I thought, oh, hold on, Ye West did an interview with Tucker Carlton, and he said all sorts of things. Now, I did watch this. Now, the reason he did the interview apparently was, the reason he did the interview apparently was because he had, was it Paris Fashion Week or something? He'd created some t-shirts with White Lives Matter on him and Candice Owens. Now, someone pointed out, these are both two black people, obviously, both who are or have been married to white people. And I don't know whether you've seen the picture. One of the shirts is black with white writing on, White Lives Matter, and the other one is the other way around. It's like white with black writing with White Lives Matter on it. And that's what started it all off. And then he got Kanye got an interview with Tucker Carlton, which I never really heard of Tucker Carlton before. Well, I'd heard his name, but I didn't really know who he was. I know nothing about him. I got the feeling this was all staged because something also came up that Candice Owens is doing like an expose of Black Lives Matter. Now, if you look, it's all out there. If you've not heard of it, just go search for it. I've not watched it because it's not published yet, but I saw like when they show you what's going to be on the programme. And it was all to do with the publication. The charities have to like publicly declare how much has been donated. And it was like £80 million or something. I could be wrong on that figure, but it was something astounding like that. I think it was just under 80 million for 79 million something. And this had been brought to Candice Owen's attention, and she was like, well, where is all this money going then? Because it's not helping black people in my view. But I think she does a whole expose. I wouldn't know. So it all stopped. You might like to go and have a look at that, because I've certainly heard, I don't know if you have, that Black Lives Matter was started by, you know, black people to support black people in America, but it was taken over by white people. Apparently, the Clintons were heavily involved, and we know as soon as we hear that word what's going on. And we know the black hats have a big habit of running or setting up or taking over charities as a way to launder money. And as far as I know, and like I say, I haven't seen it because it's not out yet. I think you have to pay for it. It's on a website that you have to have membership for to watch, but it's not out yet anyway. You can search it and watch the free stuff anyway. But yeah, so apparently she's looking into why, and that's what this is about, where's this money gone? And it certainly wasn't benefiting the community from what I saw that she investigated. And obviously I don't know. It wasn't helping the people that it was meant to help. So where is all this money gone? And she said a certain figure, huge amount, like $200,000 or something, or even 2 million, I don't know, it was a 2 something, it was a huge amount of money, had gone to like sex workers and such like. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with sex workers, but you're not sending in your money for Black Lives Matter for people to hire prostitutes, are you? I presume that's what she was implying. I don't know for sure, like I say. This must be her. This must be her. Look at that. Just absolute horror about this. That's probably where she is now. Just absolute horror about this. She was really angry about this. I get that's genuine. Although I do want to say, once again, we've got the white hats in here, and it was one of their options. So we've got the financial crash going on, we've got the energy crisis going on, we've got all these exposing. I'm going to get onto the interview in a minute. Let go of your judgments. It's just growing things. It's just another small victory, another step along the way. Just keep on growing it, keep on growing it, keep on growing it. Another thing that's happened. This is about learning lessons from the past and bringing them forward. Bringing information forward, bringing knowledge forward. Walking away from the argument. They just said to me, it's over. Walking away from the argument, it's over. There's nothing to argue about. All it comes down to now is just getting the information out there and get people to wake up. Now, don't be too dismayed if people are not seeing anything around this Vasquez thing now. I wonder whether people are going to be looking a little bit more into this this interview with Tucker Carlton because of this. And also this Piers Morgan thing as well. Now, I didn't get a chance to... I watched the whole Tucker Carlton thing, the whole Tucker Carlton interview twice. So I got a really good kind of view on that. I didn't have time to look into the Piers Morgan thing. Let's have a look at this Tucker Carlton interview, because so much was said in that to expose. I like I said, I watched it twice. I absolutely loved it. But, you know, they are playing their silly games, aren't they? The deep state dark cult, and doing what they always do. But isn't that what we want them to do? To expose them, we have to see what they're actually doing. And one of the ways they do that is to make people look insane, to make people look racist. And I'm not sticking up for Kanye West here. I don't know really very much about Kanye West at all, but from what I saw and from what we just got, I believe he's totally doing this for the white hats. And he was saying in this interview, let me have a look at some of the things that he said in this interview, because it was very interesting. Now, a couple of things that I noted down that he said. He said the word handlers a lot, which I thought, ooh, that's good. He said that he was, I can't remember the exact word. It was kind of like coerced, but I don't think it was that actual word. Now, he did say as well that he didn't realise what a close relationship his ex-wife had with the Clintons, and that they had been pressuring her to pressure him, especially over his open support of Trump. Now, I know at some point he did go to the White House with Trump. I'm not saying he's a white hat. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that he's been prompted. I saw that he had lots of things to say, lots of things that he wasn't happy about, particularly about the suppression of the African race, if I can put it like that. Because he did say, it was something like this. This is what I wrote down, but I don't think it was exactly this. The same people who have stripped us of our identity and labelled us as a colour. Now, he also said something interesting I'm going to be discussing in a minute when I'm looking at this Piers Morgan interview, when they're saying he was being anti-Semitic. I don't believe that's exactly what he was saying. I think that was an attack on Piers Morgan, because he knows Piers Morgan is a black hat, and I'm not looking into that. If anyone wants to say that Piers Morgan is good in any way and not part of this media black hat minions, then I'll look into that. But I can't see any point here, because as far as I can see, he absolutely is. He was playing his part perfectly. So I'll have a look at that in a minute. This was the Tucker Carlton interview, wasn't it? It is fascinating. Like I said, he mentioned handlers. He was mentioning the pressure on all people in Hollywood, in the music industry, and in the public eye in a big way, and in fashion as well. He kind of brought that up as well, about how that was controlled and how their lives threatened. He said particularly over the Trump thing, which I thought was big, particularly as this Mar-a-Lago. Trump's house was raided with the FBI, but I'll get onto that in a minute because I've got to do the Piers Morgan one yet. This is going to be a long one, sorry. This is so fascinating. I love this. So yeah, this was prompted absolutely by the white hats here, learning the lessons and bringing it forward again. Been a long battle. We've all learnt a lot, haven't we? He didn't seem sure when he was doing it. He didn't seem sure. He clearly didn't trust Tucker Carlton. It was on Fox News, which was interesting because Fox News also did the Trump Mar-a-Lago thing. Now, I don't know whether they've been fully infiltrated here, because it looked to me absolutely like Tucker was like, yeah, get the message out there. You tell your story, mate. I'm in on this. That's what I saw. That is absolutely what I saw. But I do believe that Kanye West is moving from a place of emotion. He seemed a lot more not suppressed. He seemed a lot more calm in his interview with Tucker Carlton, but that's because Tucker Carlton was like, yeah, do your thing, you say what you want to say, that's exactly what we want. Whereas Piers Morgan, well, we know Piers Morgan anyway, don't we? We won't say any more about him, but and I also wanted to say, something came up in that 24th of September, what's going to happen on the 24th of September video, and it was an air sign man. There was an air sign man. If you want to go and have a look, if you don't believe me, if you want to go and have a look, the swords are always air, and it was an air sign man. Obviously, I didn't think of Kanye West because I've never, you know, he's just, as far as I'm concerned, Kim Kardashian's ex-husband. That's all I know about him, basically. But, and I looked into it very briefly, and I could be wrong, but what came up was that Kanye West is a Gemini, which is absolutely an air sign. I did want to get that in, just because I'm being smug because I was right, but why not? Yeah, this is a new idea or a new thought, and this is that's a new idea, a new thought. That's about letting things go, not holding on to things, and this is about the worst being over, and this is the future line. I think this is going to shift some perceptions. I don't think we're seeing it going, thank you, okay, this is about manifestation. I don't think we're seeing it going how it should, because they are playing their tricks on him. They're making him look mad, especially with the Piers Morgan interview. I just realised my light went out. Yeah, it is going to move us forward, but don't be fooled if it seems like the black hats are winning here. Don't be fooled if it looks like the black hats are winning with this. I know they're pulling all their tricks on him, but they did the same thing to Donald Trump. So please don't think that they are winning here. I don't think we need to. Do we need to look into the Piers Morgan? Might be interesting. Just hoping people are letting go of the past, not clinging to the past and flowering and tuning in. Yeah. So let's have a quick look at this Piers Morgan interview. I know this is going to be a long one, but there's so much going on spiritually, energetically. There's so much going on right now in the world. It's just like a snowball. But I did get that. I did get that in the, oh well, a lot of the videos. This is how they're doing it. It's just drip, 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 and now it's going to snowball. Particularly this phase between, it didn't start at this solar eclipse. It started at the lunar eclipse before that. It's all on the video if you want to watch it. There's lots more dates coming up, so expect more excitement. Let's have a look at this Piers Morgan interview. I wanted to look at his these Jewish statements as well, because I had a couple of realizations just before this. So you think you're supposed to do something, and then you realise that, oh, you don't quite have the whole picture. And a lot of information came through to me this morning. Yeah, seeing the light. Now, I did watch a brief little snippet of the Piers Morgan interview. He was acting exactly how I would expect him to act, to be brutally frank, with his little black hat on. Piers Morgan, not Ye West, obviously, after what I've said. He'd agitate, from what I saw, and I could be wrong, because I didn't, like I said, I didn't watch the whole thing. What I saw from that was Piers had rolled him up, as he does, as is his wont, and until Ye West retaliated. And once he retaliated, they did this to David Icke as well. I'm going to bring David Icke up in a minute. And until he said something that I believe could be misconstrued. Now, if you think he made an anti-Semitic comment, then that's fine. But I do want to say, what I heard him say, I don't think I wrote it down, but what I heard him say was, we know that my country was by white Jewish people. That's what I heard him say. And I had this sudden realisation what I believe he was saying. And I do get that may come up later, because I do get that what I got was right. Now, I was suddenly thinking, hold on a minute. Somebody once said that what had happened was, how they play it is, they'll create a group of people who are, not victimised, what's the word? Suppressed, oppressed. I'm thinking of World War II, obviously, and we all know who was in charge of World War II. So what they'll do is, they'll create a group of people who are oppressed, then they'll pretend to be that group of people. They'll say that they're that group of people when they're actually not. Now, and then I thought, oh, hold on, somebody said that the Black Hats had created a group, and I can't remember the name, they'd called it a Jewish group, but it wasn't. It's satanic. Obviously it's satanic. So they're not Jews, but they're claiming to be Jews. But then by suppressing and oppressing Jews, if anybody says anything against them, they can say, well, we're Jewish, so you're being anti-Semitic, which is doubly cruel and evil, isn't it? I mean, that's just horrific. But something else came up about this as well. It was David Icke that said this first, that the Black Hats had created this group and had claimed that it was Jewish, but it wasn't. And I don't think any Jews accept that it's Jewish, and it is satanic. But somebody else had said that there's a group of, but they called them the something mafia, and he mentioned Ukraine, and someone had said to them that when Russia had taken over, they'd said, well, you have to pick a religion, so pick a religion, and they picked Judaism, which was obviously wise for them because of this whole thing with, well, let's oppress a group of people and like murder and torture them, and then call ourselves that group of people, so that if anybody says anything against us, well, we can say, well, you're just anti-Semitic. And I get that that's what Kanye West was saying, and he was saying it with such anger because, well, you know, Africa was the R word, wasn't it? By white people who were claiming to be Jewish. And I know he didn't say that, but maybe, I don't know. That's what I took from it, but I found that quite interesting. Like I say, I'm not sticking up for Ye West. I don't know anything about him. I just saw these videos and this is what I got out of it. And I get that's what they're saying, that I've got it right. That is what he was saying. Now, if that's taken out of context, he can immediately be labelled anti-Semitic. And the Black Hats are celebrating. But they won't be for long. That's what my guides have just said. The Black Hats are celebrating, but they won't be for long. They've shot themselves in the foot, they've just said. They've shot themselves in the foot because it's going to be exposing something along these lines. I don't know what it is that they're exposing, but it's going to be something around this. And this is going to change everything. But all together, everything together. So let's have a look at this. I'm going to pull some cards now for the Donald Trump interview. He said some very interesting things. I would really, really watch that if I were you. And like I said, interestingly, this was Fox News thing again as well. I can't tell you the interview. I didn't write it down, but it's quite easy to find as well. But all of this after we have another new Prime Minister. It does make them look a little bit ridiculous, doesn't it? Which is funny because I was just about to talk about what Donald Trump said about Joe Biden, but let's have a look and see. We've had a, yeah. The first thing I noticed here, I wasn't expecting this. This is all about oppression and feeling overwhelmed or tied or held back. And obviously, oh, with the money, yes, because the money's come up again here. Ah, okay, so they've had to do this. They've had to do this because somehow they're restricted in this financial crash thing. They've been restricted in this financial crash thing. I've just got off Worlders then. It's not going as quickly as they want with this financial crash thing, because obviously once they take over that, the black hats are going to struggle, so they're going to fight hardest for that. Done a good job. They're moving into calmer waters and they're keeping their balance, which is all they can really do, isn't it? That's probably what they meant by learning their lesson from the past. Hold on, I might just be weird things happening overdrive here, but didn't we get these two cards in exactly the same placements in the last reading? Or was it the reading before? And these two cards as well. Black hats. This is the future line. The black hats and the white hats, and something to do with money again in the future line. This fight, is it? Fight? Fight over the money. Not seeing things clearly about manifesting. Ah, okay. They're feeling frustrated. We're all feeling frustrated about how slowly this is going, but things aren't set up yet. Things are not ready to move on to the next stage yet. Things have to be set up to move on to the next stage, the spiritual awakening. It's not set up yet. This is why the universe is taking this so slowly. It seems to be holding them back and holding them back and holding them back. Although to me it looks like they're on a roll. They were frustrated with this, so they've moved on to another type of expose. But it's all going to be around this battle around the money. This battle around the money. Because as soon as the black hats lose this stronghold, they've lost. They can't do anything without money, but that's the way they've set it up, and that is what's so funny about it. They set up this system of money to control us and manipulate us and make us small and hold us back, and as soon as they lose that battle, they have lost. They've created their own weak point. Isn't that hilarious? And the white hats know that. They've just said to me as well, all this other stuff is distracting them. They're being distracted. Something's going on underneath the surface here. They're coming in. They're coming in both ways, if you get me. That's what they've shown me. It's like they're coming in like, is it called a pincer movement? That's what they just give me. They're coming in both ways. So they're detracting them with this. So while they're off dealing with this, because there's not many of them left, let's face facts. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. It is happening, but things are not ready to move on to the next level. Things have to ramp up. As light workers have to get prepped and get ready and get the energy up there. And like I say, things are going crazy, so I know the energy is moving. I know the energy is moving. I've seen it physically, like I said, shifting, and things are. You can know when you're moving that energy, and you kind of moving up, upgrading, if you like. Oh, I did want to say one more thing that he said, actually. I missed that. Sorry, because I made notes, because I always forget everything. Right, he talks, so Donald Trump speaks out about the FBI's raid on Mar-a-Lago. He talks, I would watch it, I think it's brilliant. It's not very long either. Talks about all the dodgy stuff going on, the state of the world, all the illegal stuff, and Joe Biden, and I thought, oh, right. I can't remember whether I said in another video, this is what I thought all along, and I know other people have said it as well. He knew all of this was going to go down, and that's why Biden was well, it's not Biden, is it? It's not, but it appears to be Biden. Most people think it's Biden. Well, some people think it's Biden. that while all this dodgy stuff is going on, it shouldn't be Trump in office. He had to get him in so all this stuff could fall apart, and he really does mention that a lot, about the, I'm pretty sure he mentions the Ukraine war, the financial crash. I don't think he mentions the energy crisis though. He also mentions Hunter Biden's emails mentioning his father being involved. It was a lot more than a hint. It was a lot more than a hint that Joe Biden was involved in this. And I've got a quote here now. I'm not sure this is exactly what he said, but it was something along the lines of, "We've shown the people of America the level of corruption in this country." And he really does kind of feed that in a lot. Thank you so much for joining me. I've really enjoyed this reading. I hope you did too. And I hope it's brought some information to you. I'd love to hear your take on it in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you found it useful. And I hope to see you in the next video. Can't wait. Bye.